Hello, I'm Katherine Schreiber with Broadway and Beyond TV, and I'm delighted to have with us today the wonderful and wonderfully talented Harry Hadden-Paton, star of stage and screen. And I am going to admit him from the waiting room.
You there? You're there.
And there he is. Oh, wonderful. Hello, Harry. It's so good to see you.
You too.
I have such fun letting people in from the waiting room. It's just wonderful.
You can also banish us if we're being boring.
Yes, I can put you back there. Now, I have
to say, a red card.
It's so wonderful to see you in sort of normal clothes because of all the roles you play. You're always in such elegant clothing, but here you are, just a regular guy.
You're lucky to see me out of my pajamas at the moment. Yeah, this is it.
Well, the last time I saw you, you were performing some songs from Flying Over Sunset, which was stopped by the COVID interruption.
Yep.
And you're surrounded with a stellar creative team. Tell us a little bit about that show, Harry.
Wow, well, it's the new musical, and which I'd never done before, except as a student. And so it's a wild ride. It's about taking LSD in the 50s. It's about three people, really. Cary Grant, Aldous Huxley and Claire Booth Luce, who all experimented with LSD for sort of medicinal reasons to get over their problems. And it was before the 60s and flower power and all that. It's a different time. It's more like, it's quite relevant because it's more like the way LSD is being used at the moment to microdose and to help people get over PTSD and depression and all sorts of stuff.
No depression going on right now during COVID. No, it's
no.
Everybody's very
I wouldn't recommend it at all.
So before that, you were Tony nominated for Henry Higgins and My Fair Lady. You were fabulous. And of course, everyone knows you also from Downton Abbey. And I want to go into that more later. But first, I'd love to find out how you first got started in acting.
Well, I loved doing it. I always loved doing it, but I just didn't think it was a viable career option.
But did you do it at school? Was it at school?
Yeah, I did it at school. Yeah. I did Hamlet at school, and I played Amadeus at school. Lots of great roles. Yeah. My first lead was an operetta by Jacques Offenbach called Les Bavards, The Chatterboxes. And that's when I felt, okay, I was shining in that. But again, I didn't really think until I went to drama school, and I very much thought, well, if I last a week and I like it, I'll stay, but I don't have to stay. I can leave and I can do something else. It's not too late.
Right. You did okay. You did okay.
And I did all right. I'm still doing it. Now I'm at the stage where it's like, it's too late. Now.
No, it's too late for anything else. You may as well just stay in this.
Do it.
I want to go back to Downton because I was one of 5 people who had never seen the whole show. And I consumed all the series and the movie during COVID. And amazing. What I particularly loved about it was that your character was named Bertie, which is also the familiar name of King George VI, which is another role you were preparing, The King's Speech, which you opened the North American premiere in Chicago, and you were brilliant. And hopefully that's going on to Broadway once we get back into theaters. Full disclosure, I am a producer on that show. But I
you have impeccable taste.
Thank you. And in casting too. So I just wanted to ask you, because one of the purposes of this program is to talk about how theater inspires and changes lives. And I think that play and your character certainly does that. Would you like to speak to that point on how that playing that part has made a difference to you, or how you feel it has inspired people?
Well, I think playing any role, you're seeking to represent someone, possibly in the audience, with a certain struggle. And those are the roles that really interest me. And I've been lucky enough to play a few of them, Bertie being one of them. He has this battle. Funnily enough, a lot of the things I played is about communication and men, whether it's because of the time and the social norms of the day, men who cannot really communicate either how they're feeling, or with Bertie, physically communicate. He obviously had this stammer that he was struggling with, but he showed incredible courage. And it was just a joy at Chicago Shakes Theatre. And we every night he ends with that beautiful speech. Oh. And I could just hear sniffling in the audience as I was fighting my way through it.
Because the audience is there with you. We just want you to succeed.
They're with you, and it's a great show. And I really hope that comes back as well as Flying Over Sunset, which is another struggle, another guy who's looking for meaning after the death of his wife and looking for a connection, which that show is all about connection. Weirdly, I mean, I'm so excited for when it eventually comes back, because it's going to have significantly more impact if COVID had not have happened. Weirdly, and I think people will just be craving it, and I'm excited and hopeful that it'll happen soon, because we're all going a bit mad.
Yes, I just want to go back in terms of communication and family, and I just wanted to make sure I say that your wife, the wonderful actress Rebecca Knight, plays your wife in The King's Speech, and she is a lovely royal. How was that? How was it acting with her? You met actually doing a show, right?
It was amazing. We met doing The Importance of Being Earnest a decade or more ago, and I was Jack and she was my ward Cicely. We did this incredible job for 10 months that was a tour of England that ended up in the West End. And it was a joy. I think doing that play can never be anything but a joy. But the King's Speech was the first time since. So married with 2 children by now, it's a bit of a different thing. But just being able to meet that side of each other again after all these years was wonderful.
It was, and you just I think added some new people, rather animals, to your family. The last time I spoke, you were about to get a pig, was it? Or
no, the pigs are no longer with us.
Let's not discuss what happened to the pigs.
They've moved on.
Okay,
but there are 4 dogs.
Okay.
I'm very lucky that I've found a spot with my parents. So we have a couple of rooms in which to keep our stuff, and they have 4 dogs. So my children are loving it. We're slightly bursting at the seams and ready to come back to New York.
Well, Harry, we have to go. But
we could do this forever.
Can we do this again? Can we do this again?
Yeah, I'd love that.
And I cannot wait to have you allowed back into the country. No, I know that they sent you away. I want you back in this country.
I stayed as long as I possibly could.
I know. We don't want you to.
I was the last member of my
cast. I have a present for you. I have a present for you. Yes. So I was going to give this to you at the opening of The King's Speech on Broadway, but since it's taken a little bit longer, I'm going to open it for you. And this is the coronation booklet for King George VI. The original coronation booklet, and it is.
Oh my goodness! There he is.
This is saved for you. I got it on.
Wow!
So, it's pretty fabulous. Anyway, there you are.
That is amazing. Look at that.
The original. It's in excellent shape. So I can't wait to give this to you in person. Mwah. Okay, goodbye, Harry. Love you. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.